All right, let's go ahead.
Somewhere to go.
Go over real quickly cloud architecture for Netflix. This is again with multimedia, but now we'll actually have a real application for it. So Netflix started in '98 with DVD shipping service. How many of y'all did that? Never did
had it back then.
Never had it back in? That was great. Except when the DVDs came scratched. Then it was sadness. You did?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it or?
I thought it was great.
I feel like that would be exciting too.
I was
It'd
also
be like, yay.
It was like the best thing ever.
7.
And then in '07, not to date these slides, they had 37 million users. Wow, for streaming.
31.
Did I say 37?
You did.
Oh man, that's terrible. 31 million users, and then 9 million international. Okay. The Nordics.
They must have had a lot of customers there.
All right, how does it work? I think we all know how Netflix works. But how does it work on the back end? Sure. How it used to work. So you'd have your consumer electronic seeding edge location, CDNN, that's your
Content Delivery Network.
thank you. My brain saw the picture, but not the word. And then it would actually give you the content. All right. Monolithic web app, monolithic streaming app. I love how people try and make the word monolithic a dirty word. But I've learned to
What?
appreciate it. Monolithic,
But I thought Mr. Linux loved monoliths.
he does. He just doesn't like
Monoliths
them.
are great.
They are. All right, and then it just translates everything that was monolithic into an AWS service. Isn't that great?
Yes.
Okay.
BitTorrent, weird. High downstream, but it didn't even make the upstream list. These people are jerks.
Wait, what are you talking about?
On the highest users for downstream, BitTorrent's in it, but upstream, BitTorrent is
top.
not. Oh, it is at the top. Never mind. These people are nice. I
Yeah,
take that back.
that makes perfect
they are
sense.
seeding their Linux.
No. All right. But if you notice, Netflix has the highest download by far. They have tens of thousands of instances on AWS. So 4 core, 30 gigabyte Java, business logic. Business logic. You'll hear that term a lot. It has to do, that's not what you're learning in system analysis and design. What you're, what that is referring to is when you go to the web page and it needs to do some calculation on the back end on the server. You know, you just gave it its username and password. It needs to, I don't know, compute the hash or something to compare. That's the business logic. Thousands created and removed every day. Ooh, why would they be doing that?
Creates one when you want a video and destroys it when you get rid of
When you
it.
get rid of it. All right, it's not quite that fine-grained, but it has to do with a load. Once the load becomes high, it needs to instantiate another service or instance for the server, and then once the load goes down, it removes it. So it's actually able to scale with the demand.
Yeah.
Thousands of Cassandra NoSQL nodes on AWS.
So it's no SQL. What is it?
It's just a database. Key pair. Key pair. You just don't use SQL to interface with it.
So what do you use?
Function calls?
No SQL.
Right. No SQL. Forget SQL. All right, they're all HI 1.4 XL. I'm sure you all know what that means
Oh yeah.
perfectly.
Extra large.
4 XL, AWS. Let's go ahead and do that.
2012.
Probably don't. Okay, let's do AWS instant types. Come on, internet. There we go. EC2. That's it. So you have different instant types. T2, they're called burstable. The idea is they're really small, but if you need a lot of computation for a short time, they can burst up to it. See? high frequency Intel Xeon processors. Burstable. All right, we're good. M4. These are the general purpose ones. Notice that you have large, X large, 2X large, etc., etc. Do they? Please tell me they tell you the difference. No. Well, anyways, 2X large is 8 cores, 32 gigs of RAM. This EBS only means that you have to buy the storage separately and connect it up, and then dedicated bandwidth, megabits per second, how much can actually be sent to and from it. M3 looks like it's just a little smaller than M4. And T2, come on, oh, but they don't go over the high. Wow. All right.
I won't be purchasing from them.
You won't? No? Who are you gonna be purchasing from?
Not them.
All right, high one, 4XL. What do we have? 2 terabytes and 16 virtual cores. Wow. You have virtualizations, 60 gigs of RAM, 10-bit, gigabit connectivity. Wow, and 2 terabytes of local SSD back storage. Okay, so they're pretty big machines. I don't think I ever had this conversation. Did you? Did you ever think Netflix?
Yeah, I had this conversation. I was like, "You guys are crazy. You can't believe it." Then my friend was like, "What Netflix is doing won't work." And then I was like, "Yeah, but it only works for unicorns like Netflix."
And then they changed to.
Well, and then they started getting rid of all the TV shows, and I was like, "Man, Netflix sucks. I'm getting Boomerang." So I got Boomerang.
So that's when we'd like to do it but can't. So Boomerang came about.
Yeah, man.
We're on our way to using Netflix open source something code. All right.
Yeah.
This is a workshop. This talk talks about some principles. Okay. Again, with the cloud, you have about really 4 things. Well, actually, with Netflix, you have 4 things. With the cloud, you have 3. But anyways.
It depends on what words you use.
You'll get used to how all the words mean the same thing eventually, guys.
Can we split one word into 2 other words?
Scalability. Can you keep adding more systems or shrink them as needed? AWS calls this elasticity. Availability. Is it always running? I don't know what they want with agile and efficient. Well, efficient hopefully makes sense. Agile, I don't know. Anti-fragility. That's one of my favorite words.
I like sharing.
Do you like sharing? Okay.
Chaos engines.
All right. When to use the cloud? You want to use it when you're a fish in a bowl or when you're a shark coming out of a swimming pool?
Probably when you're through the interdimensional portal in the kiddie pool. Probably.
I feel like this. They didn't do this in Sharknado, did they?
No, they did not.
Okay. I think we need to submit the
I
slide.
haven't seen the sequels yet, but
Oh, so you've seen the first one. Has anyone seen all of them?
I don't think I've seen any.
All right. No, but
you're not missing much.
I watched the intro to the first one, and I went, I think I am too old for this. If I was 13, this would be great.
That's kind of how it was for me. I saw it and I was like, yeah, I'm out on this.
Phoenix Project. All right, we want reliable hardware that scales great with speed. Wow, you're kidding, right?
Is that from Fallout?
Okay, and I think we're done. Because the rest of these
Wait,
slides.
go back to the comic book.
You want to go back to the comic book? Okay.
Yeah. I think that was from Fallout, maybe?
That's not Fallout,
Oh.
no.
I got my hopes up.
All right, we're done.
Netflix sucks.